Well, hello, and how are we all doing? I'm Cassandra B, and this is Coffee with Me. I just came on here today. I've been coming on every day at 1 o'clock just to give a little thought and a tidbit of the things that go on in my life and the things that cross my mind and the conversations that happen in my day-to-day, moment-to-moment. I work with mostly women and couples on the side with what I do. So, one of the main things that I can honestly say that is a topic of conversation on continuously is you can't control the version of you in somebody else's mind. It's something that's just an impossibility. You have no control on what people think, what people, how they experience you. It's through their own lens, their own history, their own beliefs, their own wounds, expectations, memories. And this has to do with a lot of it, like with relationships, when new people come in and the expectations we have of them, or our partner, what we've seen in TV, or what we've seen in our parents' marriages or grandparents or any of those things. So we have this idea of what we think it should be. So then we start comparing that to what it is. And this whole idea of, you have no control over what you look like in somebody else's space. You can only be your best self. You can only be sovereign in you. You can only like you. Those are the big things. So one person may see you as inspiring and another one finds you intimidating. Maybe somebody finds you to be really kind and caring and compassionate, and then somebody else misunderstands you completely and thinks that you are none of those things. These are all, and honestly, all of these variations exist in somebody's mind on how they think and feel about who you are. So, but none of them fully define who you are. So these are all pieces of you that somebody else is seeing in a moment, throughout their own visual aspect, through their own lens of lived experience. The only version you are responsible for is for the one that you embody with integrity, the one that you are in right now, the one that you are living every day. You're the one that has to like you 24 hours a day. And if you don't, that's where you need to change things. That's where you need to pivot. And, we're all growing, we're all changing, we're all experiencing and healing and all of those things and going through life and death and grief and remorse and sadness and guilt and shame and anger and frustration at every given minute. So understand that if somebody meets you in your greatest moment, they're going to see you at that energy. And if somebody meets you at, your worst moment, I know that people that have met me have a very different impression of me depending on where they have met me in my own life cycles, in my own belief moments, in my own evolution of my own self. Many people have, they met me when I was the girl that my parents owned a bowling center and I managed, country bars. Or maybe they met me when I was a business owner and owned an adult store. Very different people that they meet. Or maybe they met me when I was running at arm's length from the RM and was in politics. So depending on where you meet somebody also gives you an idea of who you think they are. And then you meet somebody that knows them in a very different light and you do not see the same people. Understand that each one of those is a version of you in a moment. It doesn't mean it's your complete picture at any given moment. So this whole idea of you having control over what anyone else thinks of who you are, what you do, any of those things is not true. They're only meeting the version of you that shows up for them in that moment. They're only meeting the version of you that was at that time. So if you met somebody 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I promise you are not the same person as you were then. We've all changed and grown because life happens around us. Oh, there we go. I've had a wicked tickle in my throat. So, and the only version you are responsible are the one that you are in right now, the one that you are showing up in. You can't control the version of you that lives in somebody else's mind. You can only live so truthfully that when you look in the mirror, you recognize yourself and let others carry their story. Don't get caught up in how other people see you or the story that they have for you, because the only story that really matters is the one you are walking 24 hours a day. And they may only see an hour of that 24 hour, or that hour of what it looks like in a week, a month, a year. So remember, you should worry less about what other people think about you and more about how you feel about yourself every minute. So don't get caught up in other people's stories of you. Just walk in your best life, be your best self, and keep taking that step forward into who you're becoming. Remember, because that is the only thing you need to worry about, is your next best step. And I will see you again tomorrow at 1 o'clock with Coffee with me, Cassandra B. Have a great day. Hi, Dalma. Bye, Dalma.